box, this fuel cell, can do both. It can operate one way and it can operate the other way. That's what we call reversibility. Why is this important? It's extremely important to us, I can tell you, because we have spent precious money patenting this technology worldwide. In a few years, how we will use it is to need help with the remote? Thank you. A home energy server of the future that simply has a solar panel and one of our Bloom home energy servers together will give you electricity day and night and also be able to charge your automobile. Your complete energy needs taken care of from that. You don't need the grid and you don't need a fuel infrastructure. Don't start signing up for orders yet. This is a product of the future. A decade or thereabouts is when you will see it. But this is a killer app. And we wanted to patent and protect everything. And this technology, we have proven, is capable of doing all that. Going back to our current product. Next slide, please. I think you skipped one. Energy conversion. So here, it's all about efficiency. We talked about what goes in the box. We talked about the fuel that needs to go in. Now let's talk about what's coming out. Compared to the US national grid, we're about twice as efficient. What does that mean? For the same amount of electricity that you need to consume, you need half the fuel. So your carbon footprint, if you're going with traditional fuels, is about half. And like the eBay campus, if you use a renewable fuel, you're carbon neutral. Use all the electricity you want and don't feel guilty about polluting the environment because you're not. Isn't that wonderful? And by the way, that renewable electricity is 24/7, 365. This is not when the sun shines. This is not when the wind blows. This is a base load, all-time working fuel cell. In simple ways, that's how this little piece of sand is very different from what's been done before. So to summarize, lower cost, use of fuels, the reversible nature of what we do, and a very high efficiency, all leading to better economics, better carbon footprint. That is the Bloom fuel cell. How do we then take that and build it into a product? This particular device, way back, John, you remember, Vinod, you remember, 5 watts. There's a Moore's law equivalent. I don't know what that is yet. We will tell you in a few years. Today it produces 25 watts, enough for a light bulb. 2 years from now, stay tuned. Okay? So you take a bunch of these together and you put them together in what we call a stack. Think of this as a chip in your computer. If this were the microprocessor in your computer, this would power an average US home. 24/7, 365, all your energy needs, average US home. So you take a bunch of these stacks, put them together in a box about the size of a refrigerator, and that's enough to power a small Starbucks coffee shop. You take 4 of those 25 kilowatts together and put them in a box, affectionately called the Bloom box now, about the size of a parking lot. We would prefer you call it the Bloom Energy Server. About the size of a parking space. And that can power a small supermarket. You need more power? You do exactly what you do in a data center. You have multiple servers, and as your computing need increases, you keep adding the servers. You just cluster them. You just cluster our boxes to add to the power that you need to meet your energy needs. Modular, pay as you grow, buy as you grow model. So, if I had just stopped at this part of the presentation, which is what I could have done a few years ago if we were introducing this company, and left it here, think about what all of you will be thinking. Here is KR wanting to play in a sandbox, building his sandcastles in the air. Right? We had a gate. We had an ethical and a moral obligation not to talk about something this difficult, this risky, that so many people have tried before, until we had proof points. Those proof points are called products and customers. And until that happened, it was not right for us to be speaking to you and telling you what we do. It took 8 years and over 400 million cumulative hours of making, breaking, improving, testing this fuel cell to get it to the point where we need to get it. Get the early units out to the customer, have it tested, prove that the product is capable of doing what it needed to do. And this is a day I've been looking forward for a very long time, along with my family, the entire Bloom employees and their families, and especially our investors. So, it is with great pride on their behalf